What's good, Steelers fans? We have breaking news here for the Pittsburgh Steelers here on Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. If you're watching, make sure you go give your mom a call if you haven't already. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already, because every time there's breaking news action for the Pittsburgh Steelers, we're going to be getting a video for you guys going here on the channel. So really do appreciate all of your support. Usually we're in the studio here, but I'm on my off day today. So our promise to you guys is that we're going to get videos to you guys whenever there is Steelers breaking news. So the Steelers did sign a cornerback today, somebody that they brought in for their rookie minicamp. His name is Anthony Averett. He's a former starting cornerback in the NFL. He was drafted back in 2018. He's played mostly outside corner throughout his career, but I think the Steelers are bringing him in to be a competitor, to be the starting slot cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers for the 2024 campaign. Now, he's played mostly on the outside, and he's even played a little bit of safety in the National Football League. He spent the 2023 season not even on a 53-man roster. He was on the Detroit Lions practice squad for that entire season, and his last NFL action was in 2022, where he started 6 games for the Las Vegas Raiders, playing both as an outside cornerback and as a free safety. So this is somebody that has quite a bit of starting experience in the National Football League. Back in 2021, he had 3 interceptions in a single season with the Baltimore Ravens, where he was drafted back in 2018. He ran a 4.36 40-yard dash time. So this is somebody with a lot of speed that you're bringing in to the organization. And, he's somebody that brings depth to this position, somebody that can play outside. He has experience playing there in the NFL, but also I think he's got a very interesting set of tools in his skill set here that might translate well and kind of reinvent his career as a nickel defender in the slot. Now, as we know, the Pittsburgh Steelers have been really needing a slot cornerback here. Of course, you got Joey Porter Jr. and Dante Jackson, who the Steelers feel is an outside cornerback. That's where he's played his entire career, and the Steelers have shown no real interest in moving him into the slot, even though I think that'd be a pretty interesting thing to do if they brought in, say, a Xavier Howard or a Stephon Gilmore in free agency. But it does seem like they view Dante as a true outside corner, as a number 2 option, the Joey Porter Jr. And then Averett is somebody that they're bringing in here to compete for the starting slot cornerback spot and to potentially be a depth piece along the outside as well. Now, right now, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have a bunch of different potential options at slot. Deshaun Elliott, who the Steelers brought in as a safety, might be a good fit at slot corner if he's the best available option. You do have some nice depth at safety with DeMonte KZ and Minkah Fitzpatrick in the room as well. So if they have to put Deshaun in the slot, I think that they will do that, but they would probably rather play him in the box as a true strong safety type. And then DeMonte and then Minkah are going to be your free safeties. Now, another opportunity that they might have is to put Minkah in the slot as well in certain types of packages to be kind of a nickel overhang type player, kind of be a roamer in the middle of the defense, read the quarterback's eyes, and really do what he does and F stuff up for the opposing offense. That would be an interesting role for him. But in terms of your true slot, I think your best options on the roster right now are Beanie Bishop Jr., undrafted free agent who we got to see this weekend in Pittsburgh at the rookie minicamp, had a pretty darn good week, and somebody that the Steelers have a lot of belief in. They said that they couldn't believe that he didn't get drafted, and honestly, with his production, 4 interceptions last year with the West Virginia Mountaineers, and then also double-digit pass breakups as well. So Beanie Bishop is somebody that's a very talented, very good teammate. Also, lots of production there with the West Virginia Mountaineers last year coming into this system. But he is an undrafted free agent, right? He's inexperienced. He doesn't have not necessarily like a big pedigree, so to speak, being an undrafted free agent. But Anthony Averett's somebody that's been in the league. He's a savvy veteran, and he's got a nice skill set to potentially translate into the slot as a slot defender for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I guess we'll have to see how things go in terms terms of how Averett's able to maneuver the offseason program. Does he look good in the various practice settings, in training camp, all these different things. And I do think it's going to be a kind of a competition here between Beanie Bishop Jr. and Averett for that starting slot cornerback spot. But even if Averett doesn't win that job, say the Steelers bring in a Stephon Gilmore or even a Cam Sutton to play the slot this year, I think Averett brings some really good experience and depth to the cornerback room that this room desperately needed. Yes, you got Corey Trice Jr. and Darius Rush on the bench, but neither of those guys have the experience you're looking for. Corey missed the entire 2023 season with an ACL injury, and then Darius was on the practice squad for most of the campaign as well. He just had very limited action. So in terms of bringing in guys, as depth pieces that actually have experience, Averett was a very good pickup for the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion. I'm excited to see what he does during the offseason program here as somebody with experience, somebody that is trying to reinvent himself and his career in the slot. I'm definitely interested to see how he does. But also, guys, I will say this. Even though at this point, Beanie Bishop Jr. and Anthony Averett are kind of the favorites to be the starting slot corner for the Steelers, I'm not going to count out the Steelers bringing in Cam Sutton at some point during this offseason. They've brought him in to visit with him multiple times at this point in the offseason. The interest is without question there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But right now, Cam is kind of dealing with some legal, tribulations there in Florida after a domestic incident earlier this offseason. He ran from police for 3 weeks and then eventually turned himself in. So right now, we're still waiting on any potential punishment that the NFL is going to dish out to him. So I think the Steelers are going to wait that out. They have Averett and Bishop on the roster, two guys that they clearly feel comfortable enough with on the roster heading into the offseason program. And then if the NFL, only gives like a 1-game or 2-game suspension or no suspension and just gives Sutton a fine for his conduct this offseason, I do think Sutton is probably going to be on the Steelers' radar. Because remember, just 2 years ago, Sutton was the number 1 corner on the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and he's got the versatility to play in the slot. He can play outside as well. So if you get Cam Sutton and you have Joey Porter Jr., Dante Jackson on the outside, and then Cam Sutton is slotting in there in the slot on a very team-friendly contract, by the way, I think that's going to be a pretty darn good group of starting corners for the Pittsburgh Steelers heading into next season. So don't count out Cam Sutton still getting signed here, but getting Averett tells me that he definitely showed them enough during this rookie minicamp to sign him to a full contract here. And then also Beanie Bishop Jr. is somebody that can definitely has an opportunity here to turn some heads during the offseason program and during the preseason. And if he has a good enough process here, Beanie Bishop Jr. certainly could be the starting slot corner for the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. So that's going to be one of the more intriguing position competitions heading into the offseason program here. I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on it, and we'll be covering every single bit of it right here on Steelers Talk all throughout the offseason. So make sure you click that subscribe button for that extensive coverage, not only at the slot cornerback position, but of course this entire roster. And then also tomorrow, I'll be back in studio to give you my list of winners and losers from Steelers rookie minicamp. So you guys enjoy the rest of your Mother's Day. Really do appreciate all of your support. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And until next time, here we go, Steelers.